Alrighty, YouTubers, welcome to the next vlog day. What is today? Day 3, 4? Can't remember. I'm freaking out of breath. The DBZ Prime 1 and KD Goku and Vegeta bus, they are so freaking heavy. And I just got done at the gym doing back for an hour. Now I got to move Sume Broly. And ideally I'd put those like in my Marvel DC room because they're going to be sold off. But there's a bunch of video game statues in there, and I can't get the video game statues out until I remove Lord of the Rings, 1/4 line. So for now, I'm going to put those in the main room, and then as soon as Broly's out, we're going to start building the Lord of the Rings shelf. I can, at minimum, move the Trinity and Lurtz and that right here once Broly's out. This shelf has to be changed, though. It's going to have to be deeper. I mean, look how deep Sauron is. He needs a 24-inch deep garage shelf. You can see size comparison here. But yeah, he needs that extra depth. Otherwise, he pokes out of the shelf. Plus, Gandalf Ultimate needs depth, and Nazgul and Witch King. So all the deepest pieces are going to go here on the left in a deeper garage shelf. And then this is going to be a lowered shelf, which would be real nice actually having a lowered shelf. Because, like when I'm over here viewing this, as you can see, that bar is blocking my angle of like this wall. So when it's lowered, that bar, the statues right here will not exist. There will, of course, be a bust, but, it's just going to be like the swords, the tall part, and the helmet. It'll be more towards the wall, so it's going to overall visually just look better. And where we're doing the tall shelves in the new room, it's not going to block anything, which will be real nice. The last thing I probably will do in this room is build the shelf for Balrog. I'm not doing that, until this is all gone. I'm still debating on Zelda, what to do. I really love Zelda, but do you need 3 links? See, and I love the Dream Studios Kid Link. It's super cool, super nostalgic. I love my custom 1 link to rule them all. It's like fantastic pose and detail. It's really good. And when we get the new adult link by Dream Studios, it's so much different than this. This is a, action pose. It scales good with Prime 1. So I'm really debating how I want to do this. I need to see Zelda in the garage shelf, bottom shelf. I feel like I could fit the entire Dream Studios line, like these 2, Adult Link, Ganondorf, and Zelda. I feel like I could fit that all. Then that means this line would have to go in there. I hate selling that Link. I don't mind selling Zelda and Ganon. It's just Link. I love that Link. So I'm trying to debate that. But yeah, I'm pretty tired already, to be honest. I just got done with gym. I just drank protein, I haven't eaten, but I want to get these moved. I want to get Lord of the Rings set up because then I can move video games and then I can move DBZ in the Marvel DC room until I can find the boxes. My goal is to finish the cave today, and then tomorrow is when I'll find the boxes and, post my sells video. I'm going to sell probably a few even before that just because people have been contacting me, but we'll do that. I'm even debating if I should go back to KD Vegeta Final Flash just because this one's so tall. KD's was shorter and it would fit, in a middle garage shelf better than this one would. Although I really like this Vegeta. We'll have to look at the display because ideally I gotta have a Final Flash. It's such an epic moment. We'll figure it out. We're gonna set the DBZ up and then determine what can stay, what can go. There's definitely some that are maybes to keep. Maybes to keep. Others like 100%. Like everything from there to there is gone. But and then definitely transcendent androids. Everything else is a potential maybe. Like keep or go. Anyways, folks. So we're gonna remove this. Move Lord of the Rings here, and then move video game statues in that room. That way I can start, building this shelf. Although, I probably want to actually disassemble this shelf first, then build this shelf. It'll probably just be a little bit easier, So, but we're definitely going to start moving Lord of the Rings right here to open up space for video game statues so we can start moving DBZ in the Marvel DC room. So that's kind of what's next. Let's show you the other room. Yeah, because I'm like getting limited on space. I've like blocked that entrance. I've moved some DBZ in here. We got to move Witch King, because then I can put Kratos up top. Once we remove those three, I can move Aloy down there. And then once Aloy's moved, and him, I could temporarily just put Clicker Bust over here, and then I can start building the DBZ shelf over here. Because it's going to be over here is where we're going to do the 2 tiers. So yeah, this will be the 2-tier. Yeah, I'm going to have to reach back here to turn the light on. I may consider putting a smart switch in this room. I need to see how it is, if it's dangerous or not. So there will be a statue right here. It's going to be a tall shelf. So the moment I come in, the shelf's going to be probably really right to about right here. And then you'll have probably Vegeta bust is the immediate thing, like Vegeta bust. I could do Prime 1 Vegeta, Goku bust, Prime 1 Goku, and then I could do, if realistically I could do a Majin Buu and Majin Vegeta. Kind of, like that Buu and a Vegeta. I'll figure it out. But, the MK wall is done. So that's done. We got Resident Evil 3 right here. And Resident Evil 2, I could potentially put 2 down low if I wanted to and do other statues here, but I'm testing this out. It just looks really cool having them all together. But it worked out really good doing Nemesis in that, window well, giving me that extra depth, and I can keep it as the Dio. And then I'm very confident Kratos bus will fit here. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get Broly out, and then we can move this in, and then move Aloy. And realistically, I can put Broly just down there. So I may just put Broly immediately down there, because that's where he's going to be going. Probably directly in the middle, do Broly. And I'll probably be switching him to the Key-Ball version and not doing the Goku. It'll save me on space, and... I'd probably just put Goku, swap out, in the closet and just store it. And then swap it out every now and then. By the way, if you guys have not seen this movie, Bruce Lee, The Invincible, it's not actually Bruce Lee, but this movie's amazing. I had it under a statue, but I'm like, I want to watch this. I've seen it a million times, but I bought it and then still in shrink wrap. But I've seen it so many times growing up as a kid. Awesome movie. Alrighty, folks, let's go ahead and start moving more statues. Alrighty, folks, I ain't gonna lie. I'm freaking tired right now. I'm lightheaded. Oh, my Jupiter. Also, oh, that's not plugged in. Okay, we got this set up. So 3 and 3 looks good. Next will be the 2 and 2s. And then here's one thought. So my plan was to do like even shelves, like yay tall, and do like Frodo and orcs underneath and Boromir. Like I could fit 20-inch tall statues, maybe 21, 22-ish. And then do Nazgul, Sauron, Witch King. However, if I technically did just Sauron in the corner, I'd only need 1 shelf that's that tall. And then this shelf could be like this tall. Although I just don't know how, like uneven shelves really bugs me. Plus Sauron would look cooler in the middle. The only nice thing is doing that is I could put taller statues underneath here. Then again, I'm not really sure what else I would need that's taller. Because like all the tall ones are going over here. It'd really only be for like future Prime 1 Lord of the Rings statues. Like the thing is, like, even if they make the Hobbits, they're not going to be tall. I guess the only other one, that's all I really need is the other Hobbits. And ideally, honestly, if I could do all the Hobbits in 1 shelf, and then do Boromir with orcs, that'd work better. So hopefully they make, just like a Sam versus Shelob, but not tall. And maybe just like part of Shelob. And then Merry and Pippin, like, ideally tree birds that are best scenes. But I don't want it tall. But if I get all 4 hobbits right there, that would be sick. Especially having like Nazgul and Witch King next to them. And then Boromir. So I have like the full fellowship. I'd love to have them all together, of course, but not possible. The only nice thing as well, if I do Sauron in the corner, it'd be right next to the Prime 1 Sauron, which would be sick. But like I said, I really want to get Sauron directly in the middle of the display. He's the tallest, the most impressive. He deserves middle front spot. Nazgul will be the least impressive, so he gets the corner. To be honest, I'm really excited to get Balrog right here. Oof, I can't wait to see that top shelf. I have been pissed off the entire time I've owned that, having it bottom shelf. Like, it is just drives me freaking crazy. So I'm really excited to get that one top shelf. Trinity looks great there, you know, and, you know, it'll be less blocked when it's actually Optimus bust, not that Sauron, because he's sticking out. I will say, though, freaking Lurtz is getting blocked by his sword. Now, granted, Lurtz is my least favorite of the line. It depends on the angle, but like a straight-on angle, there's a sword cutting him in half. At least I can still see his face good and whatnot, so you're not missing too much. You could just change your angle. You know, there's not a ton I can do. And there actually is technically space to, you know, in the corner, but then again, it's blocked by Sentinel. The only other thing I could do is if I, you know, move Sentinel with like a different statue, then it could work better. But, you know, Sentinel really needs to go there. It just works out better in my display. I can view him better. And like I said, Lurtz is my least favorite, so I'm not super worried about him having, you know, bad angles. And I need to plug this in, so that's why the light up is currently not working. Just give me a second. All right, there you go. Yeah, so there it is. You know, like I can still see him, and I did boost him up just because Prime 1 underscaled him, so I, you know, put 2 old school, you know, movies underneath to try to make him head height, same as Berserker Uruk-hai. But like I said, Trinity now is a little bit more spacious. Now they're just side by side instead of, you know, like touching bases like previously. There is this corner space where I could technically do a wall shelf here and do Frodo up there if I truly need to. You know, Frodo does weigh a decent amount, but I could definitely put him up in a corner shelf. Like, let's say I put him down here and I just don't like it. I could corner shelf him. Now, granted, Optimus bust is going to have his shoulder about right here. So that's why I'm still leaning towards just down there. Even if the angles for his face aren't as good, it's realistically the only spot he can go. You know, but right now I'm in the midst of moving DBZ. You know, I want to remove basically all of the Dragon Ball Z right now. And start building the shelf for Lord of the Rings. You know, once I can tear apart this shelf, I'm not going to build like the low-tiered shelf just yet. I'm going to tear, you know, well, I need to remove the top part to put in the other room. Remove the statues. Build this as a 48-inch wide, like standard. Then I can move Witch King, move Sauron over there, Nazgul. You know, and for right now, I'm going to display it like I had in the other room with Witch King top shelf and whatnot. You know, so I did move a few things in here. You know, we got, so that's where Clicker Bus is going to go. Have beautiful angles, beautiful lighting. Of course, there'll be a Last of Us poster above. And I put Kratos and Baldur right there. Aloy down low. This will probably be the last thing I actually move. Like, Witcher's going to go right there. But I'm not going to put it there until, you know, like, it's going to take a while. Now, we got some DBZ in here. I could put a few more statues there. And then we got to build the shelf. Now, I put Broly down low. Of course, I'm going to have a chair in here. You know, so I'm going to sit like this low. So we can have good angles. Alexa, turn on Transformers room. Going to have to change that to video game room. Of course, really good lighting. I don't think I can lower that shelf anymore just because Broly is so damn tall. And unless I put him top shelf, you know, like above with Prime 1 Goku, which I could, you know, do him with Prime 1 Goku. Or, I mean, ideally we need to lower that shelf just to give this shelf more space. Because right now in the other room, this is lowered 1. And then you have a nice 25 inches for Z Warriors and or KD's Cell. Cell either has to go here or Z Warriors. I'm thinking Z Warriors will want higher, you know, space. You know, and this is where I do KD, Cell, Gohan, androids. So androids and Cell. I mean, I could do either Frieza top or bottom. You know, ideally I'd love to do everything, you know, like Frieza, android, Cell, you know, Boo, you know, sort of like that. But, you know, I'm going to be displaying the KOD bust, just, you know, gives me space to do, obviously, like, you know, Sume Vegeta right there, for example. You know, something that's shorter than the ball. And I put him a little bit more back so he's not blocked by that. And then, of course, I can do one statue right there. You know, so if I want to do, for example, Kid Buu, I can. And then do Sume Frieza top shelf. I need to see Sume Frieza in person to determine, is it top shelf or bottom shelf? Because his head is like angled back, but with the ball, I just feel like it'd be so badass top shelf with Goku. The only problem is if he's top shelf with Goku, I can't do Super Saiyan 3, and I really want to do Super Saiyan 3. So that's why I'm thinking Kid Buu top shelf with Goku. And I could technically do Broly, Goku, and Buu. Although, no, it'd work better Broly bottom with Sume Frieza, Sume Vegeta, all the Sumes, and then Buu, Goku, and Sume, or actually, freaking Majin Vegeta goes better up top. Anyways, we're figuring it out. I moved Witch King right here for now, just until I could build that shelf. I found it easiest to carry him from the behind, like holding this and that. You know, this piece is kind of a very awkward piece to move around, if I'm brutally honest. Pretty just awkward to move around. And frankly, I just want to remove this until it's moved, because I don't like it dangling when I'm moving it. Yeah, because I was like moving. But yeah, so I'm also thinking, I mean, obviously I need to move this like back, like I'll go back against the wall to have space for Kratos bust. I'm kind of thinking the best way to go in about this, I even thought maybe I should do Resident Evil 2 right there. I think it might work honestly better over there. But Kratos bust needs to go in the corner, and then ideally Mimir to the, you know, like this side, like Kratos bust, Mimir, then the Dio, you know, and then you can do like, you know, other statues if you want to do Jin and Tomb Raider or whichever. I'm just kind of thinking I want Resident Evil 2 right there. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, Resident Evil 2 should go right there. I do like it there, but I just think right there will work better. And I also think it's like going to somehow give me more space. I don't know. You know, sometimes you really just got to try some things. But yeah, we're basically in the midst of this. We're moving all the DBZ kind of just over here for right now. But eventually, I'm going to have to move them from here into this room once those video game statues and that's all cleared out. Because then I'm going to need to put boxes in here. Here's the thing, I can't just like up and sell all my DBZ at once. I don't have the space to like put boxes and whatnot. So I'm going to sell them probably like 3 at a time, if you know what I mean. But just price them extremely good so they can sell quickly. You know, like I want to get those 2 sold ASAP. The boxes are literally the moment you open that door, those are there. So if someone wants to buy these right now, we're going to sell Freeze at $400, him at $800, shipped US. It's great prices. Cell retails at $12.50. That Frieza was, God, I can't even remember, but like 500 something. So great prices, both sold out. Alrighty, folks, so let's continue the process. Alrighty, folks, so we've removed all Dragon Ball Z statues. So next, first off, I'm going to eat and take a 2-hour break just because I'm exhausted. But we're going to go ahead and take apart these shelves and build this shelf so I can remove the remaining Lord of the Rings in here. And then we'll take care of DBZ before, you know, like this setup. I want to get DBZ situated and, you know, decide what statues stay, what sells. Once DBZ's taken care of, then we'll build this shelf for the Sauron Nazgul bust and finish off video game display, top it off with Balrog, and decide what we want to do with Zelda. But yeah, we need to take this apart, like remove these top tier shelves, move one into the DBZ room, and the second one, I mean, I hate having to cut metal. It is beyond annoying. So I could just lower the shelf enough to fit Goku bust, but then you'll have like a nice fat 6-inch bar. The bars will match, but it will be lower. And so I'm definitely trying to decide how I want to do the DBZ because, you know, due to the height of Sume Broly, I'm trying to think if maybe he should go top shelf. You know, let me show you something I was kind of, you know, here's the thing. I don't think I can keep Sume Vegeta down low. It just does not look good. You know, of course, from this angle, Broly doesn't look good. I have to sit down to see him. And to lower that shelf one will definitely, you know, make visibly viewing him bad. Androids aren't too bad down low, so I think I'll keep them down low, along with that Trunks. So I'm thinking I might do Androids, Trunks, and another statue here. And then Broly is completely fine down low, but due to his height, I may keep him top shelf next to, you know, Prime 1 Goku. And I may even consider doing the Vegeta Final Flash in between the Goku and Vegeta busts. You know, and do Prime 1 Goku, Prime 1 Vegeta with Broly, top shelf. It's not really leaving space, honestly, for the head holders, which, you know, it's like, ugh, gotta fit those in somewhere. So, yeah, we definitely have to make some sacrifices. You know, I was thinking as well, like, what if I did villains? Like, we throw the androids in the corner and do Boo, Cell, and Frieza. So it's like all villains below. Then you have Z-Warriors, and then Gohan, Goku, with Trunks, and you could say Final Flash KD. Then top shelf, you do Prime 1 Goku, Prime 1 Vegeta with the head holders. And then you'd have space in between the bust to do something else, or you could technically get Gohan bust. You know, like that could work. I just don't like that angle of Sume Vegeta. Maybe I just need to angle it, you know, differently, but that doesn't look good. Cell is okay. It's still hard to see his face, but frankly, even middle shelf, it's still really hard to see Cell's face. You know, so he's not a statue you really look at the face, but Gohan, one arm Kamehameha, you gotta see that face. I don't want to put that down low. So it might be best to do the villains down low. Maybe we just angle that Vegeta a little bit more this way. Throw androids in the corner. You know, because you can't do androids here. It's too wide to put that in Sume Frieza, because Sume Frieza would go right here. You know, and this shelf will need to be lowered to about right, just barely above Cell, and enough to fit Sume Frieza. You know, which he's actually as tall as Broly, but I don't mind it going into the, you know, whatever. We'll figure it out. Anyways, it's break time, folks. I'm gonna, you know, call it a rest for the next several hours, eat, rest, and then get back to it and disassembling everything. And then we really just got to do trial and error here to see exactly what works, what doesn't. You know, ideally we got to keep the tall statues together, simply due to shelf height. Keep short together, high together, and then kind of what matches. Alrighty, let's get back to it. Hey folks, wanted to share, you know, removing the top thing of the DBZ, you know, like how much like open the room is. It's hard in video, but the room, it was almost like an instant relief the moment I got rid of it. I'm also even wondering, you know, like next thing I'm doing is I'm building this shelf. So I'm going to remove basically these and just do a 24-inch version here. And I got the wood right there. But I was also wondering if I could somehow get KD Goku and KD Vegeta bust not on the main DBZ display. So I could keep the two double tier. You know, like if I could get the KD Goku and Vegeta bust right here instead, that would solve so many issues for me. Like, oh my Jupiter, good God. And I'm trying to think, because of me creating space over here, I might be able to do this. You know, do KD Goku and Vegeta bust. And hell, if I could do Sume Broly there, that would be a huge win. You know, because then I'd have two full garage shelves and I wouldn't have to sell near as much. Let's say we keep Zelda where it's at, and you keep Halo, Gears, and Tomb Raider where, like, in the hallway. If you do that, then Let's think for a sec. Okay, so Last of Us needs a full garage shelf. Let's think, is this possible? So let's say you lower or put that there and do Bloodborne, Neo. Let's see, that goes, I mean, that can go down low. So if you do Resident Evil 2 down low, Witcher, Aloy, you couldn't do, like, maybe just the top shelf. Let's say, you know, Devil May Cry, Witcher, Aloy, you know, if you lower Resident Evil, actually Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry, Witcher, Bloodborne, Neo, you know, and so let's think what else we need. Bloodborne, Neo, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry, and Witcher. You gotta fit Last of Us. I mean, Last of Us really is a zombie game. So, clicker bust, that arm would block Scorpion, so it wouldn't go good there. Maybe you could do, like, clicker bust here. Move this over to do Mimir, Kratos bust, clicker, and Last of Us. And then do Uncharted and Ghost of Tsushima. Let's think, am I missing anything? I mean, doing Kratos bust, Last of Us, and the clicker bust would be very difficult. You know, you gotta put Uncharted over there. Uncharted. I mean, even Mimir you could technically hang on the wall. Like, that's not imperative. It's on the base, because that base doesn't add a ton of value. If I could do Last of Us in that corner, like clicker bust, Last of Us Dio, then maybe, I mean, technically you could do all of God of War right here. I mean, you can make the Kratos bust with the swords forward. If you put it back there, I feel like the blade is going to block Scorpion, but you might be able to put Kratos right there and technically move this to the left and then do the diorama right here, because then you'd fit Last of Us clicker. You'd have to wall mount Mimir, you know, just like right there, along with the sword, shield, and axe. You know, if you did that, that would technically open up this shelf to do Neo, Uncharted, and one more video game statue. Huh. Because I would love to get the KD, Goku, and Vegeta bust right here. That would solve so many issues for me. Because the biggest problem is how tall this is, like these two. And by putting them on this main tier shelf, it dramatically makes the statues underneath much more difficult to display. And it really affects the dynamic of the whole display. So I'm thinking we might still just that top shelf and do Goku bust, Vegeta bust. You know, that could tremendously help my room. So I might consider that. Just DBZ like this. You know, that could work. Still not sure where to put G.I. Joe. Although technically... It actually worked good if I could do Zelda right here with DBZ because of the color scheme. It's all like vibrant. You know, if you did that though, that would allow space for G.I. Joe and technically return to T-Rex, but not enough space for all the video game statues. We're going to have to, you know, try it out. I'm going to set this shelf up. I'm going to attempt to do Goku and Vegeta bus up top and see what I can fit. You know, I mean, for me to fit this there, I either have to raise this one, which means the middle tier shelf couldn't even fit KD Cell, because previously it barely fit. Like, literally barely. So I couldn't fit KD Cell there. It would give me better viewing angles for Broly. You know, like, obviously right now he's at the very back. Bringing him forward, you can see it face better. I'm not really worried about viewing angles from standing. It's when I'm sitting. You know, when I'm sitting, that is what matters, because I'm going to get a chair in here, a little swivel chair like my other rooms, and then I need to know how good it looks like that. Like, as you can see, there's a solid 2 inches above him. So if we lowered it 1 and brought him forward, you know, that, I think I'd still have good viewing angles of Broly. So that's probably the best case. I mean, yeah, if I can keep Goku and Vegeta Bus right here, then I could actually keep quite a few more DBZ statues. Instead of selling more, I could keep, you know, a lot more, honestly. I could keep, like, you know, Sume Vegeta versus Boo. You know, for example, I could keep that display. You know, just have to think this through thoroughly and whatnot. So I'm going to be thinking about this quite a bit as I build these 2 shelves again. And then we'll lower the wood, try the bust above, see how much space we have below, and if it works or not. So that's what we're going to attempt right now. So I'm going to move that in the other room once I build the 24-inch shelf, remove these 2, and then we'll build these shelves just like the other room. I'm real curious if it's going to make the room feel smaller, or the fact it's over here and not like blocking any shelves, if it even matters. So we're going to do that next. You know, that's the next thing I'm doing. Got to move this beast. I need to also make sure it can fit inside the garage shelf at bottom with no wood. So I need to measure that. You know, because if he's bottom shelf there to there, otherwise we need wood on the bottom. I mean, there are ways to give yourself extra depth when it's like this. Like when the wood is at the bottom or there's no wood. If you remove that back metal piece, wasn't truly neat. I mean, it does stabilize the whole shelf, but you can remove that and gain about, you know, that much space. And then this, if you reverse it on the outside, like that, you see it's like on the outside instead of the inside, that also gives you extra space. I had to do that for 2 of my Transformers. For Megatron, I removed the back one. For Galvatron, I removed the back one and reversed the front one. It's Galvatron's super deep. Anyways, folks, let's get back to it. As you can see, like, this is one big reason I didn't want to sell statues until everything's said and done, because I would hate to, like, have sold a statue and all of a sudden I realized, you know what? I could have kept that mother effer. Ugh. And then watch I go to buy it again and it cost me more than what I sold. That's why I'm waiting to sell everything until this is done and I'm very happy with the display. But right now we're going to build this. I don't like the idea that that shelf's going to stick forward more than that, but I literally have no choice. I do like the fact that this is, you know, like this, you know, more open right here. It makes the room feel bigger. Definitely. And I have much better viewing angles now of this. Like I could view the full shelf instead of having a giant bar. Granted, you're going to have a Witch King bust. I mean, lower than this, but yeah. There you have it though, folks. Okay. Let's build this shelf and, you know, get at it. Oh, oh my gosh. You mother effer right there. Why are you heavier than him and him? Good God, that thing is so effing heavy. And there's no good way to grip it. Like you literally have to pick it up from the bottom. There's no like side you can pick it up from, you know, like him, you can pick it up from any of that mostly. Him, you can pick him up from the dragon in the back. Good God, though. Jesus. Can't believe how heavy they made that thing. But yeah, here is Lord of the Rings. Those two do pair extremely good, by the way, and look fantastic down low. Now, one thought came to mind. Let me do a measurement real quick, actually. All right, so here's just one thing I was thinking. Nazgul and Witch King, what if we did both of them there and did Sauron here? That way the shelves go like high, low, lowest. You know, it's like a gradual increase instead of this and then boom, big drop. Wonder if we should consider that. I mean, I really wanted Sauron in the middle, but he could also go great right here. Oh, goodness. That is not even 5 feet tall. It has to be lower than that by about right there for Nazgul. But that'd give me some good space underneath for, you know, other Lord of the Ring 1/4 scale statues. You know, like I said, I would love to get the Fellowship and whatnot. But, you know, here's like the 1/4. I got to move Sauron. Let's move him right now. Well, folks, we had our first damage of the move, and it happened to me. Injured my leg. Getting the posters down. I scraped my knee on these, and these are so sharp. Man, I hate human flesh. It's so weak and pathetic. Here's Sauron. Of course, it's with the 2 orcs on each side, which always looks cool in my opinion. But, you know, eventually it will be him there. Ultimate Gandalf. And the orcs down here or here. Depends. Like I said, I'm really debating making this higher just because Nazgul and Witch King are only 5 feet tall. I can save an extra foot by having it higher up, you know. Then Sauron, his fist would be coming out to like right, I mean, he's 50 inches wide. But like I said, you can shave off 10 inches if you need to. I mean, realistically, I can make him so his fist comes about right here. And have really good angles still. Angle him so his arm is like back right there. Fist here. Lowered with, you know, probably his weapon like right here. And then maybe like a Morgul blade right there. And then Aragorn's sword like directly behind him. And maybe the Sauron poster here. You know, and could also do a Lord of the Rings poster here and there. You know, but we're getting there, folks. Let's sit down and see the display. Trying to make sure everything looks good. Of course, Frodo's there just temporarily. I'll probably move Frodo, though. Like I said, I could put Frodo down there. And realistically, I could put both the orcs surrounding him like they're chasing him. Yeah, it's a nice thing that those both look really good down low. Like, they don't need top shelf treatment. I wish Frodo could go top shelf just because you can always see a human face better when it's, you know, up top. The villains, because, like, those 3 don't have faces, they don't need top shelf presence. I'm going to do some Photoshops on this and see what I like better. You know, like, all one flat shoulder shelf. And I'd almost want to consider putting Nazgul on a riser, you know, just because he's going to be in that corner. I'm going to put him as far back as possible, but I know that bar is going to block some of him. If you think about, like, him, like, that part will be blocked. That's why I was thinking if it's, you know, on a higher shelf, I'll actually be able to see it better. Ultimately, I still might not do that, though. I still think Sauron in the middle would just look so sick. Now, I just like the biggest piece in the middle, ideally. And then the other pieces on, you know, like the sides. But this looks really good, just as I had planned. Like another room, this is always my plan, to do this. Now, of course, another room, I had that like extra gap, which allowed me to do Frodo in this main display. But with Gandalf, his base is nearly as big as that Sauron, so there's just no effing way. Unless you do him on a wall shelf in the corner. Which again would be hard because of the Optimus bust, which is also just massive. So I think it's best we do him down low right there. Of course, right now I have a shelf there. I'm going to remove those shelves and have them on the ground. Most likely just the carpet, not even the actual ground. You know, just the wood actually, you know, takes about yay much space. If you do the carpet, you get an extra little bit of space and it can smush into the carpet as well better. Alrighty, so let's get to DBZ. And actually, because of how long this video is, I'm just going to cut it off now. I don't want you guys watching for an hour, so we're going to cut it off today. Even though I'm going to finish, we'll make part 5 for tomorrow. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow.